Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the first video of 2025. Jesus. So today's video is my first video since last year. I promised you guys I would make this video in my last video, which I think was a what I've been reading video. But today I'm just thinking I'm going to show you all the books that I got over the Christmas and New Year period. And sort of just, I don't know, catch up with you guys because I feel like it's been a little bit and everyone has just come into the new year. First of all, Happy New Year. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, I just keep babbling on in these videos for far too long at the start. So I think what I'm going to do is just get straight into it. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video and maybe get some book recommendations out of it as well. Anyway, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first book that I am going to show you guys that I got over this period of time was John Grisham's Sycamore Row. Now, I read over Christmas A Time to Kill, and I think I said I was reading it in my last video, but I finished A Time to Kill, realised I already owned A Time for Mercy, which is the final book in the trilogy, and I was like, there's no way I'm skipping the second book in the trilogy, so I just went straight out and bought Sycamore Row, because A Time to Kill was amazing. I highly recommend anyone if you're into legal thrillers or just thrillers in general with a little bit of political aspects and culture in there as well. That is one of those books that I'm so glad that I got to read it, and I might have to reread it again at some point in this year because it was amazing. Anyway, John Grisham is always going to have a place as one of my favorite authors. He has just got such a way with crafting thriller stories and being able to just set you in a certain part of the world that you just, it almost makes you feel like you've been there before. It's such a weird feeling to me, but I don't know, it's such a weird feeling, but John Grisham is so good at putting you in a setting and making you feel like you really are there in the moment. And I hate to say it, but I think I might have to get onto this tonight and read this book because, oh my god, this video is just making me want to go read it anyway. Alright, so starting it off, I've got 3 books here in my hands. I have 3 of Jeffrey Archer's William Warwick series. William Warwick is a character in Jeffrey Archer's stories that I didn't really know about until I just randomly bought this book because it sounded interesting to me. And I've been recommended it before by, I can't remember exactly who recommended it to me, but I just knew that I really had to get onto it. Anyway, I started reading this book about 2 days ago. Finished it today. I cannot believe it that I was that invested in this book so quickly. And as soon as I started reading this book, I immediately went out and was like, okay, where can I get more Jeffrey Archer books? Book 2 being Hidden in Plain Sight, and book 3 being Turn a Blind Eye. I don't know about... I love thrillers in terms of like having political and legal aspects in them, but I feel like compared to John Grisham, Jeffrey Archer is very good at character development and telling a story quickly. He doesn't have the same sort of ability to develop a setting or make you feel like you're a part of a community that's experiencing something. Instead, Jeffrey Archer is very good at quick bursting stories and making you just feel like you have to find out what's happening next constantly. And I don't know if I'd mind that. It's very interesting how his style is, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's light reading, I think. It's not anything too crazy so far, but he has got some very good plot twists and turning points throughout his stories. And if you're someone that wants to get into thrillers and legal thrillers and that sort of thing, but you don't know where to start, I highly recommend picking up this book in particular, being Nothing Ventured. It's just a very quick, easy read, and it has a lot in it that I think everyone would enjoy. Anyway, let me get on to the next books that I picked up. So, back to the South in the United States. We have To Kill a Mockingbird and Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. So, these 2 books, I've never read To Kill a Mockingbird, but I'm very keen to read it. And I love books that are set in the South of the United States. I find it to be a very interesting location and culture down there. So I thought, you know what? To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic in a lot of people's eyes. It's an award-winning novel. I love reading classics every now and then. and it just hit every beat to me. And after reading A Time to Kill, I got recommended it by a couple of family members that said if you liked A Time to Kill, you would very much enjoy To Kill a Mockingbird. So as soon as I finished that, I straight away went and got To Kill a Mockingbird, and then also wanted to get Ghost Set a Watchman because it is set in a similar location, and it's supposed to have characters that come back from this book featuring in this one as well. So I was like, just in case I enjoy this way too much, I have something else to read alongside of it. Anyway, I won't speak too much about them because I don't really know enough about them yet to talk about them, but expect me to do an updated reading log at some point in the next few months with at least one of these featured in it. And continuing on with Deep South literature or settings, we have a book called Where the Crawdads Sing. I know a lot of you would know about this book, and a lot of you have probably read this book. Don't spoil it for me. I know what happens. It sounds crazy to say don't spoil it after I've watched the film, but I watched the film the other day with my family, and I kind of felt like it feels as though the filmmakers left a lot to be desired, and almost like they took a lot away from the story that should have been there to try and force it down a certain direction that I don't feel like this book was meant to go down in a film adaptation. That being said, it was still a lovely film. I did enjoy it somewhat, but I kind of really wanted to dive into the actual original source material and see what the differences are for myself. And I spoke to one of my family members, and they said that yes, I was right in my assumption that although a lot of the film comes from the book, the way that they used the substance of the book in the film and some other things about the film are just very different, and I would find a lot more enjoyment in the book. So I immediately went and picked it up, and here it is in my hands. And the last book that I picked up is I picked up Cujo. Now, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. If you don't know, down here I've got all my Stephen King books. You probably can't see them, but I'm a huge fan of Stephen King. And I have not read Cujo, and I do not own it until now. So hopefully at some point soon I'll be able to jump straight into Cujo and just, I'm so keen. It's about a big rabid dog that just attacks people. Who can't find something interesting about that story to read? Yeah. Anyway, that's all for the books that I picked up over the holiday period, and I do wish that you all have had a great start to your new year. And yeah, I just feel like this year's going to be good for this channel. I'm probably going to still not upload very often. I'm probably once a week, maybe once a fortnight. But that being said, I will try and keep as many videos coming out as possible whenever I can. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you've had a good holiday period and a good break. Hope you're reading lots of great books, and I'll see you next time. Peace.